Dear students, now let us understand the meaning of socially marginalized. As it is being discussed, marginalized means forced to occupy the sides or fringes and thus not be at the center of things. This is something that some of you have been experienced it in your classroom or at any other place. If you are not like most people in your classroom, that is, if your taste is music or dance is different, that means if all the friends of your class are going for dance, maybe you will be going for the music. Is differently if you are less chatty than others in your class, if you do not play the same sports that many of your class fellows like. So, when we talk about classroom, you may experience that you are being different or being excluded from the group. Same way, in social environment, groups of people or communities may have the experience of being excluded. The reason could be many, like maybe because they speak different language, they have different customs, values, religions, way of dressing is different, which makes them different from a specific type of group. Now, under our original inhabitants, it is the community of people who lived and continue to live closer contact with the forest. Around 8% of Indian population is Adivasi, and many of India's most important mining and industrial centers are located in Adivasis areas. Here, there are 500 different Adivasi groups in India. Adivasis are particularly numerous in states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, and in northern eastern states of Arunachal Pradesh. Adivasi societies are considered to be different with other communities because there is a very little hierarchy among them. This makes them completely different from other communities which are organized around principles of Jati Varna, caste, or those that were ruled by kings. Adivasis practice a range of tribal religion that are different from other religions like Islam, Hinduism, and Christianity. Adivasi people worship their ancestor, live in the village, believe in the nature spirit, last associated with and residing in various sites in the landscape, mountain spirits, river spirits, animal spirits, etc. One of the main reasons for them to be marginalized is the language which they speak is different from us. Adivasis have their own language, most of them radically different from and possibly as old as Sanskrit, which have often deeply influenced the formation of mainstream Indian language like Bengali, Adivasis, and stereotype. I hope now you're able to understand who are called as Adivasis. These are the people or community of people who are being marginalized. They are deprived of all the development privileges of town and cities. They are forced to be aside. They are not in the center. Now let us understand the meaning of stereotyping. Stereotyping is basically when majority or most of the people frame negative opinion and thoughts about other group, that is called as stereotyping. So when we talk about Adivasi and stereotyping, definitely people hold many negative views or hypothetical views about Adivasis and their communities. In India, we usually showcase Adivasi communities in particular way, thus during school functions or other official events or in books and movies. Adivasis are invariably portrayed in very stereotyped ways, in colorful costumes, headgear, and through their dancing. You must have also noticed in movies and books that their costume is different, they wear headgear, like their lifestyle is different, and gradually we start believing this. We start believing that they are backward, they are not developed. And we also start blaming Adivasis that they don't want to have new ideas and changes in their life. That is the reason they are not advanced. So these are our opinions and beliefs about Adivasi group. But in reality, their lives are different. Adivasis and development. Forests were absolutely crucial to the development of all empires and settled civilization in India. Metal ores like iron and copper, gold and silver, coal and diamonds, invaluable timber, most medicinal herbs and animal products, and animals themselves all comes from the forest. In addition, the continuation of the life depend heavily on the forest that help recharge many of India's river and is becoming clearer now, crucial to the availability and quality of human. This means that Adivasis have been living in the forest. But for the mankind, it was always important to develop. And forest has always been very rich in minerals, medicinal herbs, and animal products. So, gradually, with the development, people started cutting down the forest and compelled Adivasis to leave the forest and migrate or move from that place to another. Forest covers the major part of our country till the 19th century, and the Adivasis had a deep knowledge of, access to, or as well as control over most of these vast tracts at least till the middle of 19th century. This means that they were not ruled by large states and empires. Instead, often empires heavily dependent on Adivasis for the crucial access to forest resources. This means that Adivasis had great control over forest till 19th century, and no other empire and state ruled forest. Adivasis were keeping a great knowledge of forest, and empires and kingdoms were heavily dependent on the forest and forest products. So Adivasis played a very important role till 19th century. Other empires heavily depended on Adivasis for the crucial access to the forest resources. And the kingdom used to take help of Adivasis to explore and know more about the forest resources. But gradually it was being seen that Adivasis were being marginalized and considered to be powerless communities. In the pre colonial world, they were traditionally ranged hunter gatherers and nomads and lived by shifting agriculture and also cultivating in one place. Although these remain for the past 200 years, Adivasis have been increasingly forced through economic changes, forest policies, and political force applied by the state and the private industries to migrate to lives as workers in plantation, at construction sites, in industries, and domestic workers. So, gradually, over a period of time, when development started taking place, people started cutting forest. They want to set up the industries, and the government also started forcing, and also the political parties, to empty forest and move to the cities where they can get job. They were also being offered to start working in the industries so they can have their livelihood. Forest lands have been cleared for timber and to get land for agriculture and industry. Adivasis have also lived in areas that are rich in minerals and other natural resources. Now, it was also being seen Adivasis have been living in the forest which was having rich minerals and ore present there. So, the mining industries and large scale projects industries, they forced applied power so that they can leave the place and so that they can set up the industries. According to the official figures, more than 50% of persons displaced due to mines and minings. So, because we have got constitution and fundamental rights, this provides safeguard to different religion and also to the minorities. Why do you think these minorities group have been provided these safeguards? What is the need to be safeguarded? Why these minorities need protection? The term minority is most commonly used to refer to communities that are numerically small in relation to the rest of the population. So basically, when I just want to explain you what is minority, they are community or group of people who are less in number comparing to other people. However, it is a concept that goes well beyond numbers. It encompasses issues of power, access to resources, and, and cultural dimensions. The Indian Constitution recognizes that the culture of the majority influences the way in which society and government might express themselves. It is being observed that majority always dominates minority, and to save their rituals, beliefs, values, Constitution started providing safeguard to the marginalized. In such cases, size can be disadvantage and lead to the marginalization of relatively smaller communities. Thus, safeguards are needed to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated by the majority. They also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage that they may face.